What do you have to say? Okay. Hello, my name is Samantha. I have been sewing since I was a little kid, but I have never used a sewing pattern. I think they've just been intimidating to me. I get a little bit overwhelmed with a bunch of instructions. I think I've mentioned this in some of my other previous sewing videos. I just draft my own pattern and I look up little details of what I'm trying to do to figure out how to draft them and also how to sew them and construct the garment. In my mind, that feels easier because I can take parts of my wardrobe that fit really well and kind of change other aspects of it and make a new garment. And so far, that's been great, honestly. Like, I've learned a lot and I've made a lot of garments that I'm proud of. But I do think I'm missing out on trying definitely like new techniques, trying different things that I've never sewn before. A lot of my sewing projects in the past, I've really focused on things that like I kind of know how to do already. I've definitely learned new things throughout this, but I do think it has been limited. So I would like to expand my knowledge, expand what I can do. Ethan, don't jump up there. Oh my God. And I think with patterns, there's definitely a lot of stuff that I would probably never attempt on my own because it's intimidating. So why not try it, you know? Sometimes I get really frustrated and I can't get past a certain error that I'm having. And I think having a pattern with instructions telling me what to do would probably be really nice. So maybe this will just be easy and breezy, and that's what I'm telling myself because I am actually a little bit nervous about it. So I'm going to be making pants. I've never made pants before, unless you count bike shorts, and they turned out real bad. I think I might have messed up the curves. That's the other thing about pants. I've never self-drafted before because I think the like curve of the crotch and the back are so important. It was too much. So anyways, I got this and I found these patterns on Simplicity. I wanted to make it a little bit easier on myself and just get the paper pattern. I didn't want to do a PDF and have to print out a bunch of pieces of paper at the library and then tape them all together. Like I just have to cut it out. So that's what I did. And I know there's a lot of really great indie designers out there, and I definitely want to try a lot of those kinds of patterns. I also was looking on Etsy and like going through all these different patterns, and I started to get really overwhelmed of the possibilities and also just having no idea if they were good or not. So I just wanted to go with a very commercial brand, dip my feet in and see how it goes. So I got this Know Me by Mimi G Handmade Millennial collaboration pattern. I've never heard of Handmade Millennial before, but this pattern is so cute. I'm like really excited to try it. I'm really hoping this is easy to follow. The instructions are scaring me a little bit, but I'm going to take it one step at a time. I just really want to, I think, trust the process with this because, like I said, it's been something that's intimidated me for a while, and I think I just need to jump in. This also comes with the top. There's like two variations of the top with the sleeves, without the sleeves. And I think I am going to make the top too with the sleeves, but I think I'm going to change the neckline because I am not a person that like wears square necklines. This goes well. I have a few other devious plans, maybe some alterations that I'll be making to the pattern. So I'm excited about that. I also really want to make a shirt with like a collar and buttons, and I did buy a pattern for that as well. I don't know if that's going to go in this video, just something to look forward to. I'm going like a little simple. I got this like cotton linen blend in bone and in black. I got them from Blackbird Fabrics. It's a Canadian brand. Heard really good things about this brand, and they had a lot of really fun fabric on their website. Might have bought some more. So I'm hoping this is enough. If it's not, obviously I'm making the pants first, so then like the shirt may not be made if I don't have enough. But let's get into it. I'm gonna cut out the pattern in my correct size, and I'm gonna cut out the fabric, and I'm gonna sew. I'm hoping I can get like a lot done today. It's a Sunday, so like I have the whole day to just like work on stuff. I want to wear them like this week. I'm already really excited about it. So let's get into it. If this goes terribly wrong, no it didn't, and this video won't be online, so that's fun. Where's
You're going right side up. Right here, baby. I also underestimated how bad the paper would be. It's this flimsy stuff, which great for storage, I guess. I don't know. Hey, bud. Oh, yeah? What? What's wrong? If you're gonna throw up, this is not the place. You okay? I've cut everything out. I didn't record most of that because it's just me crawling around on the floor. So this is my sewing corner. It's kind of small. Kind of the only corner in the house that is available for me to be in. So we got a couch, which is great. We got it for a really great deal on Facebook Marketplace. The only problem is, so there's 2 outlets on this wall and it is like pushing at both outlets. So I can't move it over anymore. But I now, no. Oh God. Yes, so that doesn't work. During my apricot sandwich break, I realized the pattern recommends that you scan a QR code and watch the tutorial on YouTube. And I was like, what? And so I searched for this pattern on YouTube, and Handmade Millennial literally shows you how to do it on the Simplicity YouTube. So I like want to just sit and look at the pattern and read the instructions and do it that way so that I can prove to myself that I can do it that way. But there's also a part of me that's like, well, I'm more of a visual person, so maybe I'll just do that. But that doesn't, it feels like cheating a little bit. I started watching the video and the colors that I picked, which not that special, it's just black and white. And the video tutorial, she is doing black and white pants. So I feel like I'm copying a little bit, but I already bought the fabric and cut it out. Okay. Yay, it's all ready. The other annoying thing is like when I have the table fully out, I can put my laptop over here. I have like all my fabric and strings and stuff. But with this, it's difficult. I don't know. I'm thinking it's gonna be so annoying. I want to like move. I'm gonna see if I can move the couch even just a little bit. Ooh, it's got like half an inch. Oh great, this fabric. Yay! Oh my god. Okay, so it's just perfect. It perfectly fits. How wonderful. The last few times I've sewn, I've done it with just like the one part of the table, and it's been a little bit miserable, I'm gonna be honest. In my mind, this is like where the project begins when I start actually sewing it. But let's get started. It's been about 4 hours. I spent 3 of those hours sewing. I have all of this one is probably the worst one. All the pant legs sewn together, the top and the bottom parts, and then I am putting the pockets together. Yay! Pocket is on. Hi. So I didn't record after last time when I finished, but I currently have my legs all ready to go. I think they're fitting right. I don't know. Isn't this fun to watch? Yeah, they look like they're fitting. They're kind of awkward. My next step, I think, is to sew the crotches together, which again is kind of a new thing for me. So I'm excited. Oh, I should probably press it from the outside, huh? One sec. Interfacing is pinned onto the waistband. Okay. I'll let you know how it goes. I don't know. AC is about to turn on. Great. I've gotten to the point where I am so confused. Really am trying to trust the process right now, but like I still have this back casing. And now I'm supposed to be attaching it to the pants. And it looks really weird. I guess that's what I'm looking at. Oh my god, the drawing is not helpful at all. Okay. Now that I've said what I need to say, I'm gonna trust the process and connect my waistband to the pants. Okay, I'm on the last step, which is just hemming. The elastic actually was not as complicated as I was making it out to be in my mind, mostly because the pattern told me to cut 2 of these casings. Only needed 1. So these are them all finished. I think they look pretty good. I think this part I might have not done the right seam allowance. And I think they are like a little big, but I'm gonna be honest, I want them to be comfortable, so they're gonna be a little big. Anyways, I kind of messed up. Oh, you can definitely see the waistband. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what was going on in my brain. I was having a hard time with the waistband, but the pockets work really well. And maybe it is just that it needs to be tighter and it'll look better. I'm gonna eat lunch now. It's probably gonna be an apricot sandwich, and I don't think I'm gonna sew more today. My back really hurts. I need to still make the top, but part of the top is going to be changing the neckline, so I don't want to think about that right now. I'm just gonna clean up my stuff and be happy that my pants are made. Yay! So I've finished the set, which I will try on and show you. Right now, I want to make another pair of pants. I also really want to make a dress out of this fabric. It's beautiful, fun fall. I got a lot going on right now. It's also Blackbird. I'm gonna cut out the pants today. I'm holding my mouth weird. It's because I went to the dentist. And I haven't been to the dentist in a while because of COVID. It's really hard, obviously, to mask when you're in the dentist, and a lot of dentists don't wear protective gear. And they have like open rooms, and so I haven't been to a dentist. My teeth have been fine. I went and I was there for 4.5 hours. And I have a bunch of blisters. And they cut me in a couple places on accident. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I have most of my pattern laid out. I'm trying the pinning method, which I've never really done before, but I feel like with this like paper, it's so finicky, it's like easier for me to just pin it. And then I'm gonna use my little Fiskars, and then I also have these scissors as backup. Sometimes this doesn't like get through both layers, but what I'm trying to do, the vision, pair of pants, obviously, but without the curve. And then I also want to make like a little tank top with like a ruffle hem. So I think I'm gonna need to like cut out this little section. And here's the other thing, I'm gonna get more of this fabric and cut out a dress, but I really want to get a top out of like this section of fabric. But obviously it's gonna be like this, but like wider. I have everything cut out. This is all the pants stuff. This is the top that I'm wanting to make. And then that is the top of a dress. I ran out of fabric, like I knew I would. I knew I wasn't going to do everything. I think basically all I need now is material for the skirt. I'm actually really excited because I was really nervous that I'd have to like order fabric for the top and the skirt, and not knowing like how much I would need for the top was making me a little bit nervous, but I think I got it. Unless I want to do sleeves for this top, which I honestly I think I have enough leftover fabric to do sleeves.
made the top, sewed the little ruffle on. It's adorable. I was trying to figure out if I wanted it sleeveless or if I wanted to put in sleeves. And then I was like, you know, before I do this, I should make sure I have enough fabric. And I showed it to my partner. My partner was like, I think the sleeves would look really good. I didn't have enough like actual fabric. Like, this is probably my biggest patch. I think it's like maybe a little bit wider, but like I wouldn't have been able to make the sleeves. Anyways, so then I spent an hour of my time patchworking this. I know it's kind of a mess because I was trying to do it really quickly and I'm thinking about it, and so I can make one sleeve with this, and I think I have enough to make another sleeve. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know, all of these seams are not gonna feel good like on my arm. Like, this is kind of a delicate area. This also I think looks bad, so I think this will turn into something else. I don't know what. I'll like line it so that I don't have to deal with all of this. I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do sleeveless, and when I get more fabric for the dress, if I have enough and I feel like trying a sleeve at that point, I will. Otherwise, I think it's gonna be cute. That was what my original vision was for it, and then I was thinking about it, I'm like, I don't really wear tank tops that often, but I think it looks really good. It's like the perfect length with the pants. I think the straps are really cute. AC's on, so basically I can't talk anymore, but I think I did good. There's like a few sloppy things. I wanted to talk about how all my sewing went so far, and I will admit I did end up mostly using the video that's on YouTube to sew these. I was just having a really hard time with the instructions, which is exactly why I was nervous to sew, but I think having that video and like seeing the visuals was helpful. And I think the more that I try, the more I'll understand the instructions in the pattern. These are the pants. I think they turned out pretty good. There's a few like minor issues that I kind of figured out the second time I made them. So you can kind of see at the top where the zigzag stitch actually is closer than the other part, and like you can kind of see the threads there. I can fix that pretty easily. I think the pants turned out pretty good. I think the fit is a little bit off. I was nervous about it not fitting. I went with a 14, but I'm probably more of a 12. The second pair that I made, which I'm going to show you in a second, I did like the waistband as a 12, and that fit so much better. Like these, I kind of had to take the elastic out and shorten it by like an inch or so. This part was really hard, doing like the stitching in the ditch. I think that's partially because I didn't do the right seam allowance when I first sewed the front pieces together, and so that like affected the rest. I think it's just like learning those things the first time you do it. I think usually you're supposed to do like a mock-up first and then do it with your actual fabric, but I just did it. I ordered this linen, and the color was called like bone. I do feel like it's kind of gray-ish, and maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I wanted it to be more of like a cream. You can see it like compared to the white. I didn't want it white, but I wanted it like creamy. So that definitely kind of changes the aesthetic of it, which is fine. This is the top. We're not gonna look at these stitches. I'm gonna work on them. I'm just waiting for the right thread to get here because I hemmed it with black thread on the inside and then white thread on the outside because that's all I had, but it's kind of obvious it's not the right color, and I do want to do like a top stitch around it, and since it's around the neckline and people are gonna like see that more, I want to make it the right color. But anyways, this is the top. I do also think maybe I did it too big, but yeah, it actually ended up being so easy. I made this in like 3 hours, not including like cutting. This has a little facing in it, which I will say was so much easier than I thought it would be. I was kind of freaking out about it. I was like, I'm excited to learn this new technique and how to do it, but I'm also really nervous. So for that reason, I was very happy to have the video tutorial, and I watched it and I was like, that's not that hard. Learned a lot on this. I'm really happy that I did a pattern and learned it. Curves are hard, and I think if you take it slow, you'll be fine. Then the other thing, this is like purely based on what I have, which is just a sewing machine. I really hate all these raw edges, and like they recommended sewing it and then a zigzag stitch and like cutting it with pinking shears, which is what I did. It takes more time. Oh, I didn't zigzag stitch this. What is with the inconsistency here? And
I think it's funny because I really like French seams, which is like you sew it, you press it, you sew it again. So like sewing it and then cutting it and then zigzag stitching it is basically going to be the same, you know? But I think the finish is a lot nicer, and I probably would have wanted to French seam this. I just didn't want to deal with these curves. Like that seemed like an absolute nightmare. The rest I would have done fine. So I think if I was to do this again, I would probably French seam everything because, again, like the pants, I tried to make it as pretty as possible. You can see I like pressed the seams open for this one, but I don't like those finishings, and that's just something that I think I needed to like realize next time. I'm just going to do the French seams because I want to do the French seams and I don't have a serger. I think there's like a few things that I want to fix with this set, but overall I think it turned out really well. And then I made the pants kind of again in this fabric. I didn't do the curve this time. These were so much easier to sew. I sewed these in like an afternoon, so that was amazing. And again, I don't love the finishing. This fabric frays a lot more. Don't love the way that looks. Yeah, I think overall this was a lot easier to sew. I love that this pant has pockets, and I just really like the shape. It's kind of a barrel shape. These turned out really great. This fabric was also really nice to work with because it is like a grid and there's lines. It was really easy to like sew and cut. I thought about like, oh, a matching top would also be really cute with these pants. I wanted like a little flutter hem and like a tie back. I probably made these ties a little bit too long. I also, yeah, this one I didn't sew shut because I just forgot. I don't know. This I did French seam. Look how beautiful the seam looks compared to like this, you know? I just think it looks so much better. I also, and this one, did a bias tape neckline, but just on the inside. I know I wanted like the front of it to not be distinguishable, like it just goes up to the top, so then the bias tape is on the inside and protects it. And the bias tape actually looks really cool, I think. This is a little top. It's so cute. I really enjoyed making both of these sets. They were so much fun. They were like difficult because they're like kind of a new process for me, but I feel like I learned a lot, which is really what I wanted sewing a pattern. So I'm really happy that I was able to do that. I have been like struggling a little bit with clothes that I make by myself. Sometimes don't feel like real clothes. I don't know what that is. I think part of it is like I just feel like if someone saw it, they'd be like, oh, so you definitely made this yourself. And I always get nervous when someone compliments something I'm wearing and to tell them that I made it myself because they tend to do this like lean in thing. And I'm like, oh, don't look closely at it. Like it's bad. And I think I'm just not very confident in my skills quite yet. It's like something I'm learning to like sew more straight and the proper way to finish things and approach different types of construction and all that. And then I'm going to do my next pattern that I have never tried. I'm also waiting on some fabric to get here so I can do that. One of the months I said I was going to sew something and I was going to read something every single month. And I think sewing stuff every month, just like having this thing that I was like going to do, even though like the last two things I did were kind of just like repairs on clothing, it kind of made me think about other stuff that I wanted to sew. Knowing that like the pattern part of it, I didn't have to draft the pattern, made it so much easier to think about the fabric and the colors and the specifics of like what I wanted to do with like these pants. So I have like all these sewing ideas. It's been nice, and I've been thinking a lot more about the things that I want to sew and really making them like last, and things that I really want to wear in my wardrobe. I've just been really enjoying sewing this month, getting to like use my creativity. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you get to do something fun this month that like stimulates your brain in the same way. Bye.